Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with the Crazy Craft Obsession Rainbow Magic YouTube hop. And this is a monthly hop where we get a new color and create a monochrome layout. And as you can see, this month is orange. And so I found this perfect picture of my kids in one of those huge chairs, and it just so happens to be orange. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do a monochrome layout. I've got some scrap paper. I have a base 12 by 12 of white cardstock. I also have this awesome stencil from the Stencil of the Month Club through Scrapping Reflections. And then this is from a Paper Studios textured paper pad. This orange wood grain. And then I have a couple of different colors. This is Pure Sunshine. And then I can't remember what that one is. Something about Ember maybe. And that's a mica spray. And then I have the Distress Oxide and the Distress Stain, or the Distress Ink, in Spiced Marmalade. And then I have the dried marigold and the oxide. And then I have these and I set them aside and do not pull them out. I may add them later, but I haven't done it yet. And then I have a few different Flair from the Flair Hut. And I also have my orange sequins container. I don't have a lot of orange because orange is not my jam, but I can say I love the way this turned out. And then I have a little glycine bag that I got Flair from the Flair Hut in, and I cut a stencil the other day to use, and all these little orange bits came out of the middle of it, and I decided to keep it for today's hop and put them in the glycine bag. And then I've pulled some ephemera from different embellishments and sticker sheets, some thickers and different collections. Some of that's Vicky Booten, some of it's Amy Tan, some of it is Mambi, I think. So I have all of that pulled out, and like I said, I want to use some of my scraps and of course my stencil with these different inks through it. And then I want to tap out some of these different orange shades. So I've got my paper, my embellishments, my mixed media, my stencil, all the orange you can ask for, my picture. So let's see how this goes. Now let me say, orange is not my jam. I don't typically do a lot of stuff with orange. That's why I usually will cut my things like when I want to make a stencil or something like that, just to use like a one-time thing. I almost always do it out of orange because I don't really like orange. So I didn't have a whole lot of hope. I even told my friend Tara, I was like, I don't like orange. But I will say I love the way this layout turned out. So I started with the Distress Ink. And I used a dauber instead of my blending brush because I didn't want to get the I honestly don't know if there would be a problem if I put distressed ink on the same blending brush as a Distress Oxide, but I didn't want to risk it with these little blending brushes that I got off Amazon. So I start on the outside. You can see where it's darker. That is the ink, and then the oxide in the same color. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference in, how that looks. And then I did this, the dried marigold on the inside. And then I'm going to do the stencil reveal. You all, look at that. Oh, I don't even like orange, and I think it's, okay, I don't hate orange, but it's not my favorite. But I thought this looked really gorgeous, and I love this stencil. I'm going to be using it more often. So I trimmed off a 1/2 inch from one side and the bottom because I moved my stencil over on purpose so that I could trim off one from one side and from the top or the bottom. I can't even remember. And so then I tapped out the darker color and then tapped out the lighter color. And I just did a diagonal from the top right to the bottom left. Then I'm going to mat my picture on this orange scrap paper. And there's some mixed media on here from where I probably use this to... I don't know, but there's mixed media, but it's orange. And then I used a Sizzix 3D impression, embossing folder and made these two papers that look like they are bricks. And I love that embossing folder. I just got it for Christmas for my sister, and I had it on my wish list on Amazon for a while. It is so cool. If y'all can hear the wind, it's because I am doing a voiceover before I go into work from my car. So I'm going to use these two pieces of paper that have the brick look to them, and they're very thin paper, so it was very distressed looking, and I love that. I didn't even know for sure if it would hold properly. Like I thought it might tear it up because it's such thin paper, but it ended up, in my opinion, I love the way it looks. It looks very distressed. So I get that down and put the orange, the darker one up towards the top and the lighter one down the bottom. And then I tucked another little piece of orange scrap paper in so that it would have some definition between the dark orange that is matting my picture and the dark orange that has that background, or that's in the very back with that brick embossing folder on it. So now I'm just going to start getting things together. So in the glycine bag, I added a bunch of the orange, I almost said stencils, the orange sequins, and I just mixed them around, and then I used Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to attach that bag down just over the bottom corner of my picture. And this is such a cute effect. I love this. I've kept all of these little glycine bags that my flare came in, and I will use them again for this. I did use some Nuvo Deluxe. I opened the bag up and I put Nuvo Deluxe on the inside where the little cinch is. So when I cinched it, I was hoping that that would kind of seal it. I considered sewing it, but I was too tired for that last night. So if something happens and it comes apart, then I'll figure something out. So now, and the other thing I did was tucked one of those flare behind that bag just a little. It's the smaller light colored polka dot, and I am going to use that other polka dot, but I did put away the plaid, or I set it aside at least. So I am now just going to take the different things that I pulled from different collections. I think this is a pink paisley sticker. It says fly away or something. I've got a couple on there. One says fun or so happy, and then the other says fun. Those all came from a pink paisley sticker pack that I have. That thank you that's in orange up there, that is from, I think, an Amy Tangerine thicker. And then I think the rest of them are from a Vicky Bouton thicker set. So I just kind of went through all of my thickers and pulled out anything that was orange or predominantly orange that I felt like would work, like whatever the wording was or whatever it was, that it was going to work with this picture. So this is just a random day. My kids and I had gone on a big walk, and we were not headed out to this big chair, but we had walked down to this shopping center that was about a half a mile or maybe 3/4 of a mile from our house. And as we were coming back, we saw this chair. The kids climbed up in it, and of course I had to have some pictures. So here's the title, Family, and that did come from a thicker set as well. And I'm just trying to find the best place for it. That's why I love putting my stuff down on these acetate pieces. This was a sticker sheet before, and as soon as it was empty, this is my favorite one to use because it's a little thicker, and I can put all my stuff on here and show myself what it looks like with that being on that packaging. So then I'm going to just add this little heart that came from that same embellishment or sticker thicker sheet that the word family came from. And then this is a Paper Studio sticker, and I think it says something about it's not the destination, it's the journey, or something like that. Or the journey isn't the destination. It's the journey, not the destination. I can barely see that. But it perfectly fit on that little strip up there at the top. And so I went ahead and stuck that up there. I forgot to bring the enamel dots or the gemstones in. I may come back and put those on. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook, then you would see the final product if I add those. I haven't decided. I love the way this turned out, you all. It is so pretty. And for me to say that about a whole heck of a lot of orange, well, I'm impressed. So there's the other flare that I put on there. So I hope you will check out all the other creators who are taking the color orange and creating a monochrome layout. I look forward to seeing how others have done that. I love that bag. I'm very excited that it turned out the way I wanted it to. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this, and I hope you all will give a try to doing some monochrome layouts. It is a good way to get used up some scraps and stuff too. So I hope that you all will come back and see me again really soon. I'll be back every day this month with a new layout, if at least one. So have a great day and happy scrapping.